Never Stop by Gonzales. Well, there were about 4 different versions of this track. At first, I spent about a month, making this slow, balearic, really percussive version that was built around that piano loop from the original. And it was just going nowhere. It was, the more I added to it, the worse it got. The thing about Never Stop, the original track, is its simplicity is its brilliance. So once you start clouding it with all these other elements, you start moving away from what's great about it to begin with. So it took me a month to work that out, and I eventually threw the towel in on it. I did end up making a piano Pella as well, which came out on a 12-inch just for the sake of having it, because I thought, well, I'm just going to embrace what's great about the original, and then before I actually make my rework. And I remember just thinking that the piano part was a red herring, and I was focusing all of my energy on making that work in respect of a remix. So I decided to not work with the piano and instead just chopped up a few of Chili's words. I should note that myself and Chili have been friends going back to 2000, where he would come and play at Trash. He played about 3 times. He played live 3 times. He played once his own solo show. Then he played. He came back and performed with Feist once, and then he came a 3rd time and did a solo piano gig in the End nightclub. And I remember the 4 of us carried an upright piano into the venue, and it had to be placed on the dance floor, and then a gentleman came and tuned it. Then we opened the doors at 9 p.m. 300, 400 people came and sat in absolute silence for an hour whilst he played a solo piano show. It was one of the best moments of running and being involved with Trash for me personally. It was a really beautiful evening, and obviously he continued making a lot of records based on his brilliant virtuoso ability, if that's a word, on the piano. And when it came around to him making the Ivory Tower record, he said to me, "Oh, do you want to remix a track from it?" And Never Stop was something that I instantly picked up on. We also released it on Fantasy as well in the UK, and it was also the music on, is it an iPad or an iPod advert around that time, like 2009, 2010. It was like on TV all the time. Anyway, going back to the remix, I decided just to chop up a few of the words and pitch them down just to make him sound a bit more kind of house music. And I'd got bored of trying to work, as I mentioned earlier, with the piano, so I just pulled together, it was the drum tracks, drum machine, an SH-101, Polyvox, and I can't remember what else. It might have been something else. Anyway, just kind of hooked them all up together and just had a live jam on it. Wrote the bass line in, wrote all the drum patterns on the drum tracks, and was kind of cutting between them live as it was going along, and just recorded it into the computer. And that was it. Just chopped it about a little bit, tidied it up, threw in the vocal parts from Gonzales, and it was done in about 2 hours. So I'd kind of spent a month making a version that went absolutely nowhere, and then that led to me kind of really improvising, I suppose, and coming up with something. And I still really, really love this track. I think it's a nice one. I remember I played it all the time when it came out, for ages and ages, and I think it's still sonically it's a good sounding mix as well. I'm very happy with it. It's the first time I'd mixed something on NS10s as well. After I just bought a pair And that was a big learning curve as well, like learning how to mix on those and how to make club records sound good on NS10s, which then meant it would sound good anywhere. So yeah, Gonzales Never Stop came out on gold vinyl on Fantasy as well. And for me, it was a good learning process in realising that if you can't get something the first time around, then just stop what you're doing, rethink it and have another go and don't panic.